You think you're hunting deer on the right food source, but you're hunting the wrong part of it. That's why you're not seeing mature bucks. In the last video, we broke down where deer actually live. Now we're taking the next step, because even if you're understanding bedding, most hunters still mess up food sources. They hunt where the deer eat instead of how the deer use the food. I'm going to fix that today so you can actually turn food into a kill strategy. Without our partners, we could not bring this content to you for free. So as a thank you, I want you to support them. We have TrueLock choke tubes, we have usago.org, and then we have Buzzard Roost saddles. You can use code REVIVE. It's going to get you 10% off, and it's also going to let them know that you are saying thanks for them supporting Revive Outdoors. We'll have all their information in the video description below, so be sure to check them out and tell them thank you for supporting us here at Revive Outdoors Academy. Here's what's happening. Most hunters treat every single food source the exact same. A field is a field, an oak flat is an oak flat, but deer don't use all food equally. If you do not understand which food matters right now, you're hunting low priority movement. And mature bucks don't waste daylight on low priority food. Hunting the biggest and most obvious food source can be a big mistake. Big ag fields, food plots, wide open oak flats, that corn pile, the feeder, it all looks right. There's sign there. You're even getting the trail camera pictures. But most of that movement is happening at night or by those younger deer. You get one picture of a mature buck and you go run into that spot to hunt it. Here's the fix. You need to identify priority food versus secondary food. Priority food is going to change based off the time of year, the hunting pressure, and the nutritional value. So a good example early season would be those soft mass crops, the green browse, and high moisture foods. Mid-season is going to be a lot of those oak flats. The acorns are going to fall, they're going to sweeten up, and that's where the deer are going to love to be. Also those transition foods closer to the bedding. So in late season, those high calorie foods, any kind of remaining ag, and then food that is closer to cover is what you're going to want to focus on. But here's the key. The closer the food is to security, the more likely a big buck is going to hit it in daylight. So an example would be a big ag field that's tucked in, or that has an oak patch that is tucked in close to some thick cover close to that field. Most hunters are going to hunt the field, but the oak patch close to that field is where a mature buck is going to feed right before dark. That is where your opportunity is going to be. So you don't need more deer, you just need better food positioning. So you may not need to change the location of that ag field or that food plot, but you need to change the location leading up to it of where you're going to be hunting. This is where most guys completely miss it. Here's what's happening. Deer are rarely going straight from bedding to a food source. They're going to move in these stages. So why this matters is if you're only hunting the final destination, you're going to be too late. It's going to be dark already. So you're seeing these deer after legal light, or you're not seeing them at all. So the mistake that a lot of people make is they set up right next to the food source. They sit on that field edge, they sit on the food plot, or they sit at the main oak drop and not those little sub kind of oak drop areas that are leading up to the main one. So you're waiting for a deer to fully commit to something that makes them very vulnerable, and a mature buck's just not going to do that in daylight. So what you need to do is you need to hunt these staging areas. These are going to be spots where the deer, they're going to pause before entering the food, they're going to check the wind, and they're going to wait for last light. So things that you're going to want to look for is thick cover just off the food source, any kind of really good transition lines that have a heavy browse, and then slight elevation changes. So trails are going to slow down that movement. It's going to cause them to pause. It's going to cause them to pinch up into an area where you can be sitting on the downwind side. So here is how you know you found that spot. So the sign is going to look different. It's not going to be scattered. It's going to be very concentrated. There's not going to be a whole lot of sign, but a lot of times you're going to find those heavy tracks, you're going to find those droppings, and you're going to find rubs nearby. So a good example of this would be, instead of sitting on a field edge, you move 50 to 100 yards back into the cover where the trail starts to stack, because that's where the deer is going to be. That's where the big bucks are going to want to pre-stage before coming into that food, and that is where you're going to kill the big bucks. Even if you find the right food source and the right staging area, you can still mess this up. The reason this happens is because most hunters burn out food sources with bad access. Food areas, they attract deer. That also makes them very sensitive to pressure. One bad entry can shut every single thing down. So the mistake I see a lot of people make is they walk across the feeding area. They cross over the deer trails leading to that area, and they let the wind blow just wherever. They blow it into the staging cover, they blow it over the food source, the first little deer blows out, out and nothing else comes after that. So what you have to do is you have to think, not that the deer, they'll just come back, because yes, they might, but probably not going to come back in daylight. So the way you're going to fix this is your access has to be dialed in at the location. So you're going to enter from the opposite side of the deer movement. You're going to keep the wind off the bedding and food. So you're going to hunt that crosswind or that wind in your face, and you're going to use the terrain or use cover itself to stay hidden. So it could be a thick patch that they're not in. It could be an old building or barn that's out there in the woods. It can be some blowdowns. It can be a lot of different things, but you got to feel confident going in there, getting in early and settling in, because you need to set up on those big ones a completely different way. So you don't want to be educating the deer at the food source. They know that their buddy got taken off during the rut 2 years ago and they were standing next to him. It's going to be really hard, even 2 years later, to get that buck to come back to that food source. You may get lucky if they're really on a hot doe, but a lot of times they're not going to do it if you're coming in the same way, doing the same thing exactly the same every single time. So same. You want to make sure that you're changing up your pattern, or you are either doing a really strategic pattern at a very low amount of frequency. So in my experience, I will only hunt spots maybe 1 to 3 times an entire season. I'll use my historical data. I'll look for those areas that are easy in, easy out. I keep it clean, but I go in for the kill moment. So you might want to consider that as well. A good example of this would be you've got the perfect staging setup, but your access cuts the trail system, goes across the trail system that they come in on. You hunt it once, the very first deer or the first mature doe comes in, she blows it out. Now what that buck is going to do is he's going to shift his staging another 80 to 100, even sometimes 200 yards back, or he's just going to simply wait until it's dark. So it's the same exact property, same exact deer, but because of the access, you have completely changed their behavior and they're coming in after legal light. If you are someone who wants to actually use food to kill deer, here is going to be the system. Step 1, you have to identify priority food for the current season. Step 2, you want to find the staging area between the bedding and the food. And then step 3, you want to set up with clean access and wind control. And here's how you apply it the right way. You want to apply it right now. Stop asking, what are the deer eating? Where are the deer eating? And start asking, where do deer feel safe eating before dark? That question is going to change exactly how you hunt, because you're no longer chasing sightings, you're targeting behavior. In the last video, we covered where the deer live. Now you know how they use food. Next, I'm going to show you exactly how to pick the right stand location using both of these things together. So watch that video next and subscribe to Revive Outdoors Academy if you're serious about getting better this coming season.